Dear parents, staff members, children, and all my fellow countrymen, good morning to you all. 2nd October is indeed a great day, not only for the Indians, but for the people of the whole world. Because on this day, a great soul was born on soil of India. The great soul, Mahatma Gandhi. Was he born great? No. He became great later because he decided to follow the two great virtues, truth and non-violence. And because of these two virtues, truth and non-violence, he became Mahatma, एक महान आत्मा. So we have to understand the power of the virtues, the truth and non-violence. We already know the history. He had been to South Africa for 20 years and fought there for the rights of Indians. Why? Why he decided? Had he not thrown from the first class compartment of the train in South Africa, he would not have decided to fight for the rights of Indians. And that was a turning point in his life. It changed the direction of his life. And he started uniting the people and fighting for their rights. But the most important part of his protest, his fight, was that he was always non-violent. Many processions were taken out. They used to protest, the Indians used to protest, but it used to be always non-violent. It's mentioned that none of the protests that he led was violent. Not even a single incidence of violence was recorded when he fought for the rights. When he was fighting for the rights of the Indians in South Africa, there was a black act actually against which he was fighting. So there was a secretary of British government, Smut. So he used to suppress all the movements that were made by Gandhiji and his followers. But he writes, how surprising and how pleasantly surprising I can say, that he writes that I had to fight against that person, or I was the antagonist of that person for whom I had the highest respect. Imagine the respect for Mahatma Gandhi that the people had. When Mahatma Gandhi was in South Africa, he had to go to jail many times. And as we know already, that he never wasted his time. He always used to do something in jail also. So he made some slippers in jail. And you won't believe, he gifted it to that secretary, British secretary Smut only, against whom he had to fight. So he believed, hate the sin but not the sinner. And that Secretary Smut, he writes that I wore those sandals many a summers. And later, when Mahatma Gandhi died in 48, he gave those sandals to India, and they are still kept in Gandhi Museum in India. So that was the greatness of the person. Both, I can say, the Secretary Smut also and Mahatma Gandhi also, that he is realizing the greatness of Mahatma Gandhi. He became Mahatma, and we are really proud of that such a person was born in India. He is only one of his kind all over the world if we search. Only one of his kind. And these days, people are speaking something against him also. He's in controversy, rather I can say, that some of the actions are not being approved by Indians today. But one thing is clear, that for him, there was no Hindu or no Muslim. For him, everybody was a human being first. And he always wanted to do justice with all. And that's why he was always very, very fair in his dealings, in his judgments, always very, very fair. And that made him only so strong and was declared Mahatma. So what's to be learned from his life on this great day, when on his name the day is declared Non-Violence Day internationally? We have to study, read about Mahatma Gandhi, and try to follow his principles in our lives. I have a book, The Mahatma and the Monkeys. Wonderful book. And it's a collection of his thoughts and some incidences from his life. Do own this book. Please, please. This is my request. Do purchase this book. Go through his thoughts and we will realize how great he was. And definitely, if we read about some great person, something comes in our lives also. We try to follow something from the great thoughts of the person. So this will be really a true tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, that we try to follow truth and non-violence. These days, intolerance has become really, really problematic in India. Intolerance. And that intolerance is non-violence only. Violence only. So we have to think, how can I practice non-violence? And if we follow non-violence, Mahatma Gandhi used to say that with non-violence, the victor and the vanquished both win. With non-violence, the victor and the vanquished both win. So we have to remember, we have to keep this thought in our mind and try to follow his principles, truth and non-violence. And if we follow truth and non-violence in our lives, it will lead us to the highest achievements of our lives that we aspire for. So we have to realize the importance of these two virtues. And it will be the true tribute to the great soul, Mahatma Gandhi, on his birth anniversary, 2nd October. Thank you so much.